Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your JAYFLIGHT SLX 224 BH travel trailer. I'm here to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple things to take into consideration when parking. On your campsite, leave plenty of room for that awning to come in and out. Then your off campsite, no slide to worry about, so I want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Your city water for campsites is going to be right behind your rear tire, or just above it there on your off campsite, and your unit plugs in power on the very rear of it. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once you arrive and unhook your hitch, first thing we're going to do is level your unit. The unit does come with an LG power tongue jack with a night docking light should you arrive at night. Simply retract to lower, extend to raise. Now should you lose power, under this rubber stopper here is a manual override for that hand crank right there, so you can get this up and down if you don't have power. Speaking of power, check your battery posts when you arrive. Make sure those haven't wiggled loose coming down the road. Alright, once we got our unit level, next thing we're going to do is stabilize it. All four corners of the unit have stabilizing jacks. Another 3/4 inch hand crank right here. Put that on and crank them down. As I do, I'm going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt and debris and hot blacktop in the summer. Grab a 4-pack of them, put them down, run these down just until they're taut. You can use a drill gun or an impact driver. Just slow down when you get to the bottom, because you only want to do this until you've got some resistance. Remember, our unit's already level. We're just trying to stabilize it. Go around the unit, get all 4 of these down. Once our unit's level and stable, we can hook up our power and water. Again, your power plugs in on the back of the unit. Big long 30 amp cord there. The way these new ones go on, now it's kind of a pistol grip. Put it in to the left, turn it to the right, put your black washer on to lock it. Now at the end of that 30 amp service, you ever need to plug into a 110, in your convenience pack we give you a 30 to 15 amp reducer. Got your power hooked up. Let's hook up our water. At campsites, we're going to hook up the city water connection. First and foremost, your water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi. You don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites, so always use this when putting water in here. Get your water pressure regulator on there. Get your hose on. Everything's nice and tight, but don't turn your hose on yet. Let's find your hot water heater. On your unit, it's right to the right of your power. And all we're doing at this point, folks, is making sure our drain plug's back on. You may have left it out last time you were camping. Go ahead and get that on there nice and snug, and then you go ahead and turn that hose on. Once that hose has been on for a little bit, I want you to go inside and open up your water taps. Get all the air out of the lines, get a nice steady flow of water. Once you got a steady flow of water, shut them off, and then you'll know that your hot water heater is full, and you can turn that on from indoors. Now let's say we're going to go camping and we're not going to use city water. We're going to go boondocking or dry camping. In that case, we're going to just fill up our potable water tank. On your campsite above your tires is your potable water or fresh water tank. No need for a water pressure regulator here. Simply use a hose. 2 ways to tell when that's full. 1, there's an overflow valve right here, or 2, on the inside where you check the levels of your battery and black and gray tanks, there's also a fresh water button. Once that's full, and don't leave this while you're filling it. Once it's full, remove your hose, put your cap on, and then whenever you want to utilize that fresh water, turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump when using city water that's already pressurized. You don't need it. All right, that about covers everything. Get you camping, power and water. We're all set up. Let me walk you around the rest of the outside of the unit on your campsite. Electric fridge, outdoor kitchen area. Make sure you lock that when traveling. Got this big awning here. Show you pitch control. Hypothetically, picnic table's down there. It's pouring rain. Hold on in that pitch adjust. That's going to tilt all your rainwater down to this end. Front of the unit here, you got a couple of outdoor speakers, a vent for your microwave. You've got a clamp for a TV indoors that you can simply remove and snap out here with the same TV if you want to, with cable and 110 for that. Again, your fresh water. This is a flue for your furnace. Two things on that. Make sure it's never blocked. And if you run your furnace, it gets hot. Front of your tires, a low point drain for your freshwater tank. Again, pitch adjust on this end. Your pass-through storage. On the front, your propane does have a cover. Also comes with a regulator. Simply point it toward the tank you wish to be using. Lefty-loosey to open. Again, your battery post. Come around your off campsite to your other pass-through storage here. Coming down behind your tires. This could be your tank flush. We'll talk about that when we dump our black and gray tanks. You got an outdoor shower with hot and cold water. Your city water connect. There's your low point drains for the campsites. And there's our black and gray dump station. On the rear here, you can hook up cable at the campsites. And on the back end, you've got your spare tire with a cover. You're also prepped for a Furion backup camera. Device you can put on the dash of your tow vehicle. Electronically communicates with this, giving you a backup camera. Again, your power, hot water heater, and a ladder. You got a ladder, utilize it. You have a fully walkable roof. I'm going to go up there a couple times a year, check the seams of your roof, and caulk as needed with recommended RV roofing caulk. That about covers everything out here. Let's go take a look on the inside. Again, your nice solid steps. When bringing them down, you'll have to make sure your door is all the way open. First thing I like to point out inside is the fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows that the fire extinguisher is located at the entry doorway. Just to the right of that on the floor is your 12-volt carbon monoxide propane detector. Now, the reason I mention that's 12 volt, it's always running off your battery. So if you're out boondocking, dry camping with nothing plugged in charging your battery, you're going to be gone for the whole day. Disconnect your battery post to keep this from running your battery down. Left in the entryway is a couple controls. 110, interior, exterior lighting, your awning. I'm going to show you on your awning. Top of your awning is gray, bottom is white. You're only going to want to run these out until that flap falls down to 90 degrees and you can see the brown bar. These will continue to run themselves out and run themselves up backwards. So keep an eye on them when you're running them out and make sure that you only run them out as far as you need to. Get that brought back in here. Well, I'll talk about the controls below that. Here's your water pump, your water heater, if hooked up to gas, your water heater if electric, it does make a difference. And up here is where you check your battery, your freshwater button to tell when your potable water is full, and your black and gray tanks. Continue to run your awning back in here real quick. We have a self-explanatory microwave. Down below that, you do have a light and fan. This glass top makes an excellent backsplash. Rock up your panel light. Turn this to light. Hit your spark, and your flame will go when your gas is on. Same thing on your oven. Just turn it to light, spark it down here, and then set it to the desired temperature. No need for a pilot light anymore. Rock this panel light down and it becomes an oven light. Down below your oven, it's going to be your access panel to your breaker box and fuses. Above that to your right is going to be your Norco fridge. Turn that on up here. So whatever's white is what you're controlling. For example, here's the freezer. This is the fridge. Freezer, we like to keep at 5. Fridge at 3. Just as it is. If you want to raise it, you can do it here or lower it. Put that in. That'll keep it there. This is a night mode. That's telling the fridge, hey, I'm not going to be opening and closing as much. Could you save me some power? And it does. Bunk areas have one-touch lighting as well as USB ports. Come back in your bathroom real quick. So I mentioned you do have a hand open power exhaust vent. 110 with GFCI reset. And also plumbing. It's all PEX nowadays, but you are bouncing the house down the road. So, you know, just keep an eye on things. Make sure nothing's wiggled loose over time as the years go by. Closing up our bathroom. To the right of that's going to be a thermostat. Turn that on and crank your air up. I know you can't see the blue very well in this camera. Let's get that going. Now you notice when I shut the AC off, it shuts off rather quickly. Now when I turn your furnace on, you notice that when I turn the furnace fan off, that it takes a few minutes for the furnace fan to cycle through. There it goes. Before that shuts off. You're down that table. We'll lift up, remove your legs, set your table on these right here, put your back cushions on top, gives you another sleeping quarters. You have your smoke alarm up here. RV Technology sound system. See if we can get something to come on inside. Your Bluetooth AM FM auxiliary dual zoned. So indoors, shut that off. That was just outdoors. Or shut them both off. Here's your HDMI you can plug in. Here's where your TV can plug in. Simply grab this and pull forward on this lever, and that'll release whatever TV you put on here. You can go snap that on right outside. Also available for a 12 volt cable in 110. You're also wired for solar here. So this is a template for the techs if you ever decide to wire the whole unit for solar. Leave that on there for them. You do have a blue accent light. You can turn on here, up above. All of this lighting is one touch. And some storage under your bed. That about covers everything on the inside. Let's act like we're getting ready to leave the campsite and close the unit up. So I like to come over here and shut off my lights completely, and then look around and see any individual lighting I need to walk around the unit and shut off. A lot of this is one touch, which is nice because you can just leave one on at night. Leaves you enough lighting to walk through the unit. So I have all my interior and exterior lights off. Turn my interior back on and say doors and drawers. Make sure all your doors and drawers are closed and secure. Nothing's going to pop open as you're going down the road. Shut our lights off and exit the unit. Again, the biggest thing on these steps is you want to make sure your exterior door is all the way open. Otherwise this could catch on it. Set this aside, pull back, that'll lock that in there for you. Before you leave the dump station, in case you want to get inside and look at your dumps as you're dumping them, or your tanks as you're dumping them, make sure that you lock and deadbolt your exterior door and turn this handle over. If we are out dry camping, you're going to come up underneath here and dump that low point drain. If we're at a campsite, we're going to unhook our cable, our water, and our power. Bring up all of our stabilizing jacks. Hook up our hitch and head on up to the dump station. Now at the dump station, park accordingly. On your driver's side of your tow vehicle, behind your tires is where your dump's going to be, and you got a 10-foot hose, comes with your convenience pack. Once you park accordingly, hook up that hose and pull that black tank. Now once that sounds empty, you can open your door and look at your black tank on the panel and see if it's empty. Once it is, leave that black handle open, grab the hose at the dump station, grab your water pressure regulator, hop up here to your tank flush, turn that hose on here for a good 5 minutes. Let that wash all the nastiness out of your black tank. When that's done, shut that hose off, remove that, make sure all that washout that you just put in there has drained, then close your black handle and pull your gray handle. While your gray handle is draining, I like to go ahead and dump my low point drains. Once them are done, we're going to come around to our hot water heater. Gonna lift up on this pressure release valve. That'll dump the remainder of your hot water out of there. Push that back down, otherwise that will not come out. And then remove your drain, or your door won't close, and then remove your drain plug. Once that gray tank's done, which is cleaner water, your sinks to your showers, you go ahead and close that. Take your hose and conveniently and sanitarily store it right here in your bumper. And head on home. Again, we thank you guys so much for your purchase of this JAYFLIGHT. Hope you enjoy it for many years to come. Happy camping.